So now that we have entered the code, we need to compile it. So we go down a little bit and we go to here to compile and run, and we click the button compile. When we do that, it says successful compilation. You can now run the experiment. In short, what the compilation does is the computer, the server, reads this programming code and translates it in something that it can run as an experiment. So that is technical background stuff that you do not need to worry about too much. Once it says successful compilation, you now can run the experiment. Then you basically, yeah, your code is correct. If you have made mistakes in the code, which can easily happen, you would get an error message. Let me, for example, change one letter here, fixed point x, and I save it. So now the code would be wrong. If I type compile now, it says error, undeclared bitmap. And then you need to fix your code, and that is just removing this letter, saving again, compiling, and then you see it works. The compilation goes very quickly, and now we are going to basically run the experiment. So if I click run here, you see a black area, and that is where the experiment is being presented in. Within here we have an 800 by 600 pixel canvas area in which it draws the stimuli, and it doesn't happen until I click this button. Click this button to start the experiment in the black box above this button. So I click this, and now the experiment starts. You see the cursor, the mouse cursor disappears when it hovers over the canvas area, because we don't use the mouse in this experiment. So let's do the experiment. I have my fingers on the A and L keys now and my thumb on the space bar, and I read out this text here. If you see a left pointing arrow, please press A. If you see a right pointing arrow, please press L. Press space when ready. I do that. Now it shows training. Press space when ready. I do that, and now the stimuli appear and I respond here. Of course, in the screencast you cannot see my responses on the keyboard. I did not make any mistakes, so there were no error messages on the screen. Now the real block starts, 20 trials. I will now make some mistakes so that you can see what happens if you make a mistake. And if you don't make a mistake, this happens. So you see this experiment goes very, very quick. And it's a relatively easy task. Of course, I have a lot of experience with the Simon task. It's something that I use in my research. I'm going to finish this and show you what happens. It is a very short experiment. Okay, see, there we go. Thank you, press space to finish. I need to say though that when I showed you how to draw the stimuli, I didn't have this phrase press space to finish. I had actually forgotten that. You need to add that because the computer won't go on until you press space, because we had this message statement in the code. So I press space, and now you see two new buttons appeared. It says show data and save the data on server for later download or analysis. Now first let's show the data. Now we see for each trial that I did, we see the information. This is what was created by the save line that we had in our task section. And this includes the description of the condition and the reaction time and so on. Now I want to keep this, so what I could do is I could copy just this code and say, okay, I'm going to copy this to the clipboard, and then I could copy it directly into another program. Alternatively, I can save it on the PsyToolkit server for later download or analysis, and that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to save this, and now I'm being directed to the analyze section of the experiment. And in the next video I'm going to show you on how to deal with that.